Hello everyone, welcome back. As you can see, I'm playing Borderlands the Pre-Sequel here, and I'm going to be showing off Claptrap's skill trees and give some tips on him as well. Alright, I'm pretty sure I just saw a Claptrap go into that bathroom back there. What the? Alright. Anyway, moving past whatever the hell just happened right there, I'm going to be showing off Claptrap's skill trees, and I'm going to be giving some tips on how to use them as well. Alright, he's coming out of the porta potty now. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the video now. Alright, first of all, I'm going to show off his ability, because it is very different from the other ones in the game. Whereas they all have a standard effect, Claptrap has many effects, and they happen randomly. Somewhat randomly, and I'll show you what that means. See, I click right there and it runs Vault Hunter EXE, and you see Shield Full, Health Full, and Lonely Mode. Basically, with those combinations, it'll summon something that fits into those categories. Like right here you have Minion Trap, so he meets the standards for all those. And sometimes you'll get stuff like enemies present, melee enemies present, or dealt damage to enemies and stuff like that. And it'll give you more options. So it's still random, but it is based on your surroundings and your health and certain factors like that. Which I'll show later in different situations so you can see all of the different skills. Alright, so anyway, let's move on to the skill tree here. I'm going to flip around so you can see Claptrap. Let's see. Let's start with Fragmented Fragtrap. Now this one is going to be the second skill tree that I'm using, and I'm actually going to be focusing on this chain first, the Boomtrap, because it is pretty damn effective. I'll get into that last because it's my favorite, and I'll be talking about that the most. So here we go with Fragmented Fragtrap. Right here you have all guns, gun subroutines, and it's pretty much you pick a random subroutine, which is a random weapon, and it'll say sniper rifles or rocket launchers or something like that, and then you'll get, as you see at the bottom, you'll get 25% plus damage, 20% plus fire rate, 20% plus reload speed, and if you're using a gun that's not the gun that the subroutine is selected, you'll lose 50% damage. Which is why I currently have it unselected. It's pretty useful if you have the right guns, but sometimes it'll switch to rocket launcher, and I just don't use rocket launchers. Same thing with sniper rifles. So if it switches to one of those, then you're pretty much screwed. And then over here you have essentially the same thing, but this one is for defense. So instead of guns, it'll be used for shields and health. And what that means is it raises your maximum capacity for the health, and it raises your maximum capacity for the shields, and it also regenerates both of them. Personally, I think it's better for the shield one, because it regenerates immediately. So as you take shield damage, it's already regenerating, which will make you almost invincible. It is pretty incredible. So that's why I like this one better than this one over here, but the thing is, if you want to use this skill tree, you have to put skill points in all 5 of these, right here. So that's pretty annoying. I wish this one had 5, so that you could just put 1 in here and 4 in here. But I am going to have to use this eventually, so I guess I just have to get over it with that. And moving down, you have Surprise Stabilize. Taking damage from an enemy increases your accuracy and recoil reduction with all guns for a few seconds. That's actually pretty good, because you're going to be taking a lot of damage in firefights. Then over here you have Rope-a-Dope, Melee Subroutine. You randomly pick a melee-focused subroutine, which grants you a massive melee damage bonus, but reduces your damage with guns. Now this one sounds interesting. I don't really know what they mean by melee subroutine, because as you see right here, you have a gun subroutine, a defensive subroutine, and then you have melee. Since it says subroutine and not subroutines, I'm guessing it's just melee in general. It's not like it's going to give you like a baseball bat or something. Or a different melee weapon. Because as I'll show you right here, Claptrap's punch is he just jabs his little robot hand forward. Which is pretty funny, I will have to say. Then you have increased gun damage, fire rate, and reload speed while in Fight for Your Life, and also it increases the duration of Fight for Your Life. That one is also useful, and I'm going to be putting skill points into there as well. Now this one is weird. It multiplies the bonuses and the penalties of the current subroutine by up to 3. And then the fewer frag stacks you have, the greater the multiplier. But the good thing is, it also says defensive subroutines always receive triple capacity regardless of the stack. And it also gives you one-shot wonder, which I don't really like. I'm not a big fan of that effect right there. Because as you see, every shot empties all bullets from your clip. That sounds extremely wasteful, so I will not be putting any skills into that. I might try it out, but I don't see why I would. And then over here you have increases grenade, also throwing a grenade adds frag stacks, which is good if you're on the gun that you want or the defensive subroutine that you want. That way you can keep it going longer. Then you have Element of Surprise, which is a random elemental subroutine. You randomly pick a subroutine that increases damage with the chosen element, but decreases damage with all other elements. And then it says, upon depleting your shield, filling your shield, or entering Fight for Your Life, you release a Nova of the chosen element. Now, here's the thing about the subroutines. I do like their effects, but if you get a gun subroutine, you get a defense subroutine, a melee subroutine, and then you get an elemental subroutine. Let me check if there's another one in here. Okay, good. But anyway, you have 4 subroutines here. you are going to have a really hard time getting the ones you want. So if you want, let's say, the guns or the shields, or if you just want both of them, I don't know why I'm going to the koala. If you want both of these up here, then your best bet is probably just to put it into these, and don't put any skills into these two right here. Because it's going to make getting the guns and the shields very hard, because it's going to put more into the pool. So that's essentially what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep the safety first and the all guns. All guns only because I'm forced to use it. If I had the option, I would not use it. Then you have killing an enemy increased your gun damage, reload speed, and movement speed for a few seconds. That one's good. I like that effect. I'm probably going to put it into these two. What I usually do is I like to put 2 and 3 in skills that I want, and then I'll put the 3, obviously, in the one that I want more. So this one I'm going to have 2 in, and this one I'm going to have 3 in. Because this one I think is the overall better effect when it comes to fights and all that. Then you have, whenever you slam, you release a Cryo Nova and lose some frag sacks. I don't know if I want to use it, though. Because the air kit I already have has a poison effect, and it's pretty good. Then you have Float Like a Bee, increases melee damage, also killing an enemy with a melee, grants frag stacks, and a small amount of health, and increased movement speed for a few seconds. That one's good too. I'm pretty sure this one is going to be one where you can only put 1 skill point into it, so I'm definitely going to upgrade to that. And then finally for this chain, you have whenever you initiate a new subroutine, you emit a Rainbow Nova. The Nova consists of all elements, humongous in size, and makes your team super happy. That's funny. And then it also gives you Laser Inferno, which is an action package. Action packages are what you saw earlier when I summoned the Minion Trap. And this one here, it shoots lasers in all directions at nearby enemies, which is very similar to the Torque Fiesta, which hopefully I can show off if it randomly selects. Man, that skill... Oh, because it was paused. I was about to say, that skill is taking forever to load. So I'm going to go ahead and enter a fight here so you can see that other options will pop up. I'll lose my shields just in case that's one of them as well. And then shooting at an enemy will also create a new subroutine. Let's see. Shot enemy, lonely mode, shield empty. Oh, alright, well I died in the process. Anyway, as you saw briefly before I died there, it went into the Necromancer mode, which they have for all of them. They have a siren, they have that little turret that goes down, kind of like Axel, or Axton, and then you have the a siren bot that flies around, which is pretty funny. And right there was the Necromancer, which you summon another little Claptrap that goes around and fights, while you also lose a ton of accuracy, but you do a lot more damage, just like the Necromancer. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the other tree. This tree in the middle I'm going to spend the least time on because it's all for co-op. There's very few effects that can be used solo, so I'm going to kind of skip right by this because I like to play solo, and this doesn't really fit me. See, this one's basically that when you revive someone or they revive you, you gain health regeneration and damage resistance for a short time. Kind of decent. This one basically just increases status effect chance, gives you Maniacal Laughter, you and your pals get health regeneration for each stack of Maniacal Laughter, and the lower your health, the greater the health regeneration. That one I'm probably just going to put all 5 into because this one doesn't sound great since I'm not really going to be playing with anybody. And this one increases fire rate, weapon speed, and max health. This bonus increases for every teammate in the game. Being part of a team is great. As you can see, all the kind of Claptrap things in here are funny. And then you have Kick 'em while he's down. While in Fight for Your Life, you draw aggro from nearby enemies. Since I play solo, I already do that anyway, so it's not too much different. But, Clap in a Box, Digistruct a giant bomb that hurts everything around you when it explodes. That one's good. That one sounds good. Increase the action skill cooldown. While Vault Hunter EXE is running, this bonus transferred to your allies. I might put like 1 or 2 in there. And then you have You're Going to Love Me. Killing an enemy creates a Friendship Nova. Friendship Nova. Alright. That's weird. Healing you and your friends in the radius. Allies who are low on health are healed more. And then you get Gun Wizard. You and all allies gain drastically increased fire rate and reload speed. That one's a really good action package. So I'm definitely going to put some skills into that one. And then over here you have Wax Off, Wax On. Improves your shield capacity, shield recharge rate, and shield recharge delay. Now that is good. I'm going to be putting some stuff into that. Pretty much for this one, I'm only going to go as far down as... Where is it at? I was going to say this one, but I think this row is where I'm going to stop on the I Love You Guys skill tree. Because I still need to finish off the Boomtrap over here. Anyway, moving on to Pain Simulator is painful. Increase your max health and grants a small amount of damage reduction. That one's good as well, but I think I'm just going to put probably 2 or 3 into this one and then leave this skill tree alone. So I don't know if I'm going to put any in here. And then moving on to Organized Guns Are Happy. Increases magazine size with all weapon types for you and your buddies. That one's good, but again, I don't really care too much about magazine size, and as I move over to the Boomtrap, there's actually something where having a large magazine would kind of hurt you, so not going to upgrade that. Then you have Kick 'em while he's down. Whenever you gain second wind, your gun damage, melee damage, and critical hit damage is increased for a few seconds. Again, not going to go this far down in the skill tree, so I'm not going to be using that. And this one's actually pretty funny. High fives, guys. Hold down R to request a high five from your friends. A successful high five increases your and your awesome friends' gun damage, fire rate, and grants health regeneration. Woo! If you don't have any friends, or they leave you hanging, gain increased gun damage and health regeneration for a few seconds, because screw you guys. So that's actually a pretty funny effect. And again, if you're going to be like the team medic or something, this would be a good tree to go down. And like I said, I'm going to show off another subroutine. I'm going to switch weapons this time, just in case that makes something different happen. As you see, I'm holding a new weapon type in my hand. Shoots little laser arcs. Very damaging, as you saw right there. Anyway, here we go. Going to activate this. Let's see what I get. Oh, Torque Fiesta! Grenades! Grenades everywhere! Well, that ended quickly. But yeah, as you see there, that was very damaging. But the bad thing is, if you're playing with... Oh, there's a camo guy here. The bad thing there is, if you're playing with friends, they'll actually get hit with the grenades too. So, luckily for me, I play solo, because I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, that's one of the Boomtrap subroutines, and I'm going to jump into there now. Alright, so here we go. First off, I'm going to start with Drop the Hammer, because it's my least favorite of the starting two, even though it is good as well. Reloading your weapon increases your fire rate and reload speed, but makes your accuracy worse for a few seconds. Now, it's not that much worse, as you can see right here, where it's accuracy minus 4%, and giving you 10% reload speed and fire rate is definitely worth the trade-off. And then you move over here to Killbot. Killing the enemy restores health, but costs shields. Now, as you can see with my stat boost there, it gives me up to 42% of max health. So you kill 2 enemies, and you're almost up to 100%. That is really good for sustaining firefights. Very, very good. Then you have Repulsive. When struck by a melee attack, you emit a powerful blast wave that pushes the enemy away and deals explosive damage. That one's good, but I feel like just having the initial effect is all that really matters, because as you can see, you can increase the momentum of it, but I don't really care about the momentum. Just having the effect by itself is already good enough. And then you have Coincidental Combustion. This one is probably the best skill that Claptrap has. Whenever you shoot an enemy with a non-explosive weapon, you have a chance to deal bonus explosive damage based on your weapon's damage. So as you can see right there, you have a 28% explosive chance. Now, this doesn't only work with non-explosive ones. It also works with any kind of element. So any element that's not explosive, it does have a chance to use explosives. You can use fire, have explosive, ice, have explosive. Very, very effective. Then you have Second Wind by Tedior. Another effective one. Whenever you enter Fight for Your Life, throw a digistructed copy of yourself, which explodes like a grenade, and you continuously emit explosive novas. This will let you get up very, very quickly, as I've used several times. And then you have Load and Explode. Whenever you reload your gun, gain increased explosive damage. Also, stacked with this right here, very good, because it's no longer coincidental. Most of the elemental skill tree stuff is coincidental, whether you're using that weapon or not. This one gives you a chance to always have explosive, and this one increases that damage for explosive. So it is really good. There's a lot of synergy when it comes to the Boomtrap skill tree. And then you have I Am Rubber, You Are Glue. Kill skill. Whenever you kill an enemy, bullets have a chance to reflect off you and towards enemies for a short time. Really good. And this is also the one that gives you Torque Fiesta. As you can see, it says drop a large amount of grenades that damage enemies and friendlies. Good thing there are no friendlies in my game. And then you have Start with a Bang. When firing a fully loaded gun after reloading, you generate explosive nova centered around you. Damages all nearby enemies and hurts you, but only a little bit. So as you can see, it does 1% there. I feel like it stacks, and as you go up to like 5 damage, it'll do 5% of your current health. It's a good effect, but I feel like putting all into this one, because I would rather have this one. Then over here you have the last round fired from any weapons clip gains significant bonus damage. Smaller clips reduce the bonus. Now that's an okay effect. I'm not sure how much I'm going to put into here. I might put one skill point, but there's a good chance that I'll just put it all into here, which is Hyperion Punch. Melee Overdrive, which is one of those things where it's kind of like a special melee punch. Dealing explosive damage grants you stacks of Hyperion Punch. When you have 5 stacks, press right stick to throw a super awesome punch that deals bonus incendiary damage. This consumes all stacks of Hyperion Punch, which is good. I feel like that'll put him a little bit closer to Krieg, which was easily my favorite Vault Hunter in Borderlands 2, so now I'll have some useful melee. And now, moving on to what is my favorite final skill for Claptrap. Increases fire rate and reload speed. The lower your health and shields, the greater the bonus. And then it gives you an action package, Pirate Ship Mode. As you see right there, fire rate up to 100%, reload speed up to 100%. Crazy. And then the Pirate Ship Mode, turn to an awesome pirate ship with cannons. I don't know if you've seen in the trailers, but he does indeed turn into a pirate ship, and it is very funny. Now, the Boomtrap is easily my favorite skill tree here, and I'm going to put some into here as well, but I'm not going to go very far down the chain. I'm going to put all into here, going to max this skill tree out, and then I'm going to put some in the I love you guys, only as far down to the shield, and then I'll probably put the rest in the Fragmented Fragtrap. And then, of course, as more DLCs come out and the level cap raises, then I'll be able to move it around a bit. But as you saw earlier, Claptrap is a very, very random person. So, if you're a beginner to the game, I would highly suggest using him first, because he doesn't really require too much skill. I mean, there are a few things like Gage the Necromancer, who was supposed to be the easiest Vault Hunter, but she was still a little bit complicated when it comes to stuff like the Anarchy stacks, and I can't remember what the other stack was called, but yeah. So there are a bit of complicated things when it comes to Claptrap, but overall I think he might be the easiest. I haven't tried the other ones yet. I think the next one in the line that I'm going to try is Athena. And that should be interesting, because she throws a shield, Captain America style. Oh, another minion trap. I was hoping to show off something else. But minion trap, as you see here, very effective. He's kind of like the turret that Axton uses, or Roland. Going to kill the Corporal Bob. That's a weird name. They usually just have names like Grunt or something. Oh, got some moonstones here. What am I being burned by? What's going on here? Oh. That'll explain that. Wormhole generator. Yeah, it keeps pulling me back in, so I'm going to go ahead and destroy that and then run off. Alright, so anyway, that was Claptrap. I'm stuck on a wall here. Come on, Claptrap. The funny thing is, by the way, is that when you walk around as Claptrap, you're actually as small as Claptrap is. So as you can see, I'm very low to the ground all the time. Which is very weird in this game, because you have to look up at enemies when you shoot them. It's pretty unusual. Alright, so anyway, that was Claptrap. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.